Shabbat Shalom. I'm Cantor David Prozer of Kehilat Bet HaMidrash, Kempsville Conservative Synagogue in Virginia Beach. And this is our Torah commentary for this Shabbat, May 23rd, the 29th day of ER 5780. We're reading Parshat Bamidbar. We're thanking Rabbi Adam Rosenbaum, Rabbi Joyce Newmark, Rabbi Joseph Prauser, Rabbi Michael Gold, and the United Synagogue Torah Spark series for their various teachings and publications about this week's Parsha. This week we begin the fourth book of the Torah. The Hebrew name Bamidbar, meaning in the wilderness, provides the setting for, as well as the name of, the opening Parsha. The English name Numbers refers to the content of the initial chapters, which is a census of the Israelite population. The confluence of the counting of a census in this week's Parsha with our current counting of the Omer is not lost on us as we begin this last week of the Omer, counting off the days leading up to Shavuot next weekend. I'll speak more on that a little later. Parshat Bamidbar begins on page 769 of the Eitz Chaim Chumash and page 568 of the Hertz. Having occupied ourselves with the details of the priests, purity, and ritual, we now turn our attention to the Israelite wanderings in the desert. God orders Moshe to take a census of the men of military age, 20 years and older, so that they can prepare for the possibility of warfare or other obstacles as they are about to begin their journey through the wilderness to the promised land. Excluding the tribe of Levi, there are 603,550 Israelite men of military age. We can estimate that if the women, the children, and the tribe of Levi were counted, there would be approximately 2 million people. When we consider that it had been just 5 generations since Jacob, and his family went down to Egypt with 70 people, we sense the great success of the people of Israel in the realm of reproduction. We might also understand why Egypt was so frightened of the Israelites' increasing numbers. It appears that God's promise to Abraham, "I will make of you a great nation," had been fulfilled. According to Rabbi Ismar Shursh, the former chancellor of the Jewish Theological Seminary, in truth, we never came close to being as innumerable as the stars. The paucity in our numbers drives us to take comfort in the profusion of quality as we should, for never have so few influenced so many. Therein lies the fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham that his seed will be a blessing to all humanity. The Levites, who are to take the place of the firstborn sons of each family who are dedicated to God, are placed in charge of the tabernacle's assembly and transportation when the people travel. This sets up their unique role in service to the Mishkan and the spiritual life of the nation. Still, they are to remain subordinate to the priestly line of which Aharon was founder and progenitor. Chapter 2 provides a detailed account of the order in which the Israelite tribes proceeded through the wilderness and their structured arrangement when setting up camp, with each tribe marking its territory with an ancestral banner. The tribes are told to camp in a square surrounding the Mishkan, the tabernacle, with 3 tribes on each side of the square. The Levites are encamped in the middle, closer to and surrounding the tabernacle. Another census, counting all male Levites from the age of 1 month, finds some 22,000. The number is recorded by ancestral house and clan. A second census of the tribe of Levi, counting men between 30 and 50 years old, is taken to calculate the workforce that would be assigned various tasks, including carrying the tabernacle throughout the journey. Specific duties are assigned to each Levitical clan. Similarly, the duties of Aharon and his priestly line in maintaining and preparing the sacred accoutrements and ritual objects within the tabernacle are listed. The Parsha also includes the procedure that God outlines for Moshe to redeem the Israelite firstborn sons whose obligation to serve in the tabernacle has now been transferred to the Levites. The Haftorah for this Shabbat is from the teachings of the prophet Hosea, chapter 2, verses 1 to 22, beginning on page 787 of the Eitz Chaim Chumash and page 582 of the Hertz. The opening words of the Haftorah compare the future numbers of the nation to the sand of the sea, and thus connect with the Torah, which gives the numbers of the Israelites in the wilderness. The prophet adds a ringing confirmation of God's hand in the population explosion from the time of Jacob and the time of the census at Sinai. The number of the people of Israel shall be like that of the sands of the sea, which cannot be measured or counted. An innumerable nation is a sign of God's favor. The restoration which Hosea foresees will mirror a prior movement of greatness squandered in faithlessness, as understood by the Midrash. Hosea's words apply to the distant past as well as to the remote future. Now, as to approaching Shavuot, as we mentioned earlier, this coming week leading up to Shavuot is a complex time on the Jewish calendar. As will be announced by the blessing of the new moon this week, Rosh Chodesh Sivan will be observed tomorrow, Sunday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are known as Shaloshet Yemei Hagbalah, the 3 days of preparation preceding Shavuot, and recalling the 3 days of preparation and purification preceding the Sinai revelation. The day between Rosh Chodesh and Shaloshot Yemei Hagbalah, that is this year, Monday, the 2nd of Sivan, May 25th, is known as Yom HaMayuchas, the day of distinction, or can also be more simply translated as the well-connected day, from the same root as the word yichus, meaning a relationship or a family pedigree. In part, this designation merely reflects the day's proximity to the special days preceding and following it. However, there is also a tradition that it was on this day that God informed the Israelites that we were to be a nation of priests and holy people. Yom HaMiyuchas took on an added festive element in the 20th century as the Six-Day War, so formative in the life of the state of Israel, concluded on 2 Sivan, Yom HaMiyuchas, 5727. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and as always we pray for the day to come soon when we can do this live in our own sanctuaries. Shabbat Shalom.